We started our last day with a hot cup of coffee with this spectacular view. So it's June 1st and we are heading to Anchorage today. But this is what we woke up to. Completely snow covered. And it snowed all night and is continuing to snow right now. So it's complete whiteout. Felt amazing to wake up in this cold and this snow outside. But now that we have to drive to Anchorage, we're a bit nervous, but we should be fine. Yeah. So we're now heading to Anchorage from Denali National Park, the area around it, and it was completely snow covered. It is rather. It snowed all night. It's not the kind of snow that sticks to the ground, but it definitely felt amazing to wake up to snow in June. So
yes, it is 1st of June, and everywhere else in the US it's almost the end of spring. Some people say it's the beginning of summer or whatever, but here it's actually snowing. It's been snowing like this since early morning today, and we woke up and everything was covered with snow, all white.
And we spoke to some of the locals yesterday, and they mentioned that it usually isn't this cold, or it definitely doesn't snow towards this end of the spring. It's the end of the spring for Alaska. But so they said it is pretty unusual and strange that it's this cold this time of the year.
We're so glad that it's the end of the vacation and we got to experience snow in June. And we also experienced daylight in the middle of night, as they call it, the land of midnight sun. So we truly experienced some of these very interesting weather changes that we would normally won't experience elsewhere. So I think it was awesome. It was amazing.
And now from Cantwell, which is about 30 minutes out of Denali National Park, we have about 3.5 hours to go to Anchorage. And then we have our flight tonight. So we're heading to Whittier right now.
We're heading to the town of Whittier. We actually just paid a toll of $20, which is a two-way toll. So we don't have to pay any toll on our return back to Anchorage. But you can see all these cars parked in one lane right here. We've been asked to join them, and we're in this queue now because there's only one tunnel, as you can see ahead in the mountains. It's a pretty long tunnel, and that's the newer way of going to the town of Whittier. Any form of transport previously was always via a train, but now I don't exactly know how many years back, but it's a pretty recent development where now you can actually have road connectivity to Whittier, and that tunnel is right there, which we are going to be entering in a few minutes. But they only allow one-way traffic at any given point in time. So currently we've been asked to wait in this queue, and once the light turns green, it will be our chance to go through the tunnel.
So they shut the traffic on the other side about 5 minutes ago, and then they will let us go in the next few seconds. They also provide a map like this when you pay for the toll, and it has a schedule for either going towards Whittier or back, and their timings for the traffic.
Schedule for the tunnel, yeah.
Okay, so they opened it up. We are ready to go. I guess they'll allow the big trucks to go first. Their lane turn green first.
So interesting. They are allowing everybody to go in sequence.
Now it's us.
Now it's all the personal vehicles.
And these ones with their boats attached, they are still waiting. So everyone has to slow down here, stop, and then go.
The secret tunnel.
So we're literally going through the mountains right now, through the tunnel. So here we go, entering the tunnel. So as you can see, the lanes are very narrow, only allows for one-way traffic to go on either sides, and that's why there is a schedule for the back and forth. And we're coming out of the tunnel. It's a good 2-mile tunnel through the mountains.
Yeah, easily 2 miles. Maybe a little more than 2 miles.
This is a very small town, secluded from the rest of Alaska, and with a population of about 384 or so. But look what scenic, beautiful and picturesque views they have.
Turn right onto Whittier Street.
So this is the entire town of Whittier. It's a pretty small town.
Very cute town.
They have some excursions, some cruises leaving from this pier as well.
They do have a couple of restaurants also.
And you can see this
In a quarter mile,
building
turn right onto
tower
Glacier Avenue.
right here. That's the tower where majority of the population of this town lives.
Almost everybody lives.
They have about 313 apartments in that building.
And the population is about 380
Yeah.
of Whittier.
So they all live in that one building.
So everybody pretty much lives in this one building right here.
And you can see how a lot of probably the residents, they have parked or docked their boats over there.
Yeah, everybody in this town
Turn right onto Glacier
lives
Avenue.
in this one building.
Yeah, very interesting. So if you're going from or driving from Anchorage to Seward,
In
this
600
town
feet, turn left onto Kenai Street.
is about 50 miles south of Anchorage
59 minutes.
to go towards Seward, and with the toll you can come into the town.
So that's the building, the mountains right behind, snow-capped mountains behind them. And this is the lake. This is the residence tower for
Yeah.
everybody in the town of Whittier.
It's 14 floors, 14 stories with 313 apartments. another tower over here, but it's abandoned. No one stays over here in this town.
It's pretty spooky.
Yeah,
Look
don't know
at-
the reason.
Look at from the outside. Windows broken.
So there are absolutely no windows. Nothing.
Spooky building.
And before heading to the airport, we thought of ending our trip on a sweet note.